What's up, dudes and dudettes? This is Mickey with Retro Core, and this video is about the top 10 shoot-'em-up games for the Atari 2600. Let's take a look. Starting at number 1, Asteroids. You do not have to own or have ever played an Atari to know what this game is. It was released in 1979 for arcades and later adapted for the Atari 2600 in 1981. This game has popped up in numerous adaptations throughout video game history. The objective of the game is to destroy asteroids and flying saucers. You can move about the screen while rotating to destroy incoming space junk. When moving, you'll have to face away from the direction you are traveling and apply thrust to slow or stop your ship from moving. The momentum might carry you into the path of an asteroid and you will eat shit, and you'll die, and your head will explode and your eyeballs will fly out of your face. Well, not really, but you get the point. As you can see, the asteroids will wrap around the screen, causing the movement to be somewhat consistent for the player. Once the field is clear of all the asteroids and alien shitheads, a new round begins. Depending on game variation, you'll be awarded lives every 5,000, 10,000, or 20,000 points. The maximum score you can reach is 99,990 points. I do not know why, that is crazy. Why not 99,999? Or maybe even 100,000? But no, they decided to make it 9 points shy. Who knows? Anyways. Number 2, River Raid. This is a vertical scrolling game taking place, you guessed it, over a river. Released in 1982, this shoot-'em-up was extremely popular amongst gamers back in the day, and it still is. Interestingly enough, you're a fighter jet whose mission is to destroy the enemies. You can fly over the water, which is blue because blue usually means water. And if you run into anything other than the blue, you are annihilated into little 8-bit dust particles. I love this game, it's one of my favorites, but you're in a freaking plane. You're in the freaking air. You should just fly over obstacles and landscapes, not crash into them. But maybe this should have been a boat instead. Anyways, the controls are simple. You can move left, right, as well as accelerate and decelerate. This is handy for moving out of the way of enemies and collecting fuel. Oh yeah, did I mention you have to refuel your plane? That's right. You're on a limited fuel amount, and you're frequently having to refuel your plane or you'll go down faster than Tom Hanks in Castaway. You earn points for the objects you shoot. 30 points for tankers, 60 points for helicopters, 80 points for fuel barrels, 100 points for jets, and 500 points for bridges. Once you reach a bridge, it begins a new round, and it also acts like a checkpoint in case your plane goes down like they did in the movie Flight of the Phoenix. Okay. Enough for the movie references. Number 3, Missile Command. You're in charge of protecting 6 cities from being attacked by, drumroll, missiles. You have to defend yourself with, another drumroll, missiles. Shoot your missiles at the incoming enemy missiles and blow them out of the sky before they wreck your shit on the ground. That's right, these enemies are mini-heads. Once you target the location that you're sending your missile, fire your missile. Once it detonates, it will leave a lingering fireball for a few seconds until it fades away. Any missile coming in contact with the fireball will be immediately destroyed. You have 3 missile batteries, containing 10 missiles each, for a total of 30 missiles. If you can't shoot down enemy missiles with 30 missiles in your inventory, then you should probably get out of the gunner seat and get a job flipping burgers at one of the cities that's about to be blown to hell. If a city is hit by a missile, it will be destroyed. The city that remains standing will earn you points that will aid you in getting another city rebuilt. Once all 6 cities are destroyed, you have failed your job, and you can go eat a worm. Enemy missiles come in 2 forms, dumb missiles and smart missiles. Dumb missiles fly in a straight line, while the smart missiles will try to dodge your attack. Number 4, Chopper Command. This is war, people, and you are the pilot of a helicopter who's been assigned to shred the asses of the enemies that are trying to blow up your convoy of trucks below. You are able to move up and down, left and right, to dodge and position yourself for the kill, and you are able to rapid fire at these enemies. The enemies will try to destroy both you and your trucks, so be quick, be swift, make each shot count, or just hold down the fire button and fly like a maniac on steroids. It's your choice. At the bottom is a scanner that will show you your position of trucks and enemy aircraft. After you complete a round, you will enter a new round that is more difficult than the last. You have 12 trucks in your convoy that need your protection. Don't fail them. Some aircraft will shoot a missile that will split into 2 and will try to hit your helicopter and your truck below. You can't shoot down the missile, so the trucks are on their own. unless you nail the bastard before they pop off the shot. You also have to be careful because these enemy pilots are crazy. They will kamikaze themselves just to spot you. Each helicopter you destroy is worth 100 points, and each jet is worth 200 points. You automatically get 3 helicopters to start with. Each time you reach 10,000 points, you get an additional helicopter, so you can only have 6 helicopters at one time. Don't waste them. Number 5. Air-Sea Battle. This is a fantastic game for both 1 and 2 players. You have these little guns on the bottom corner of the screen. You must shoot your weapons at the enemy aircraft to destroy them. Time is crucial. The wave of enemies vary in speed and number of crafts. You don't get destroyed, so this is a very simple game to just blow things up at your own leisure. Except that you only have 2 minutes and 16 seconds before the game ends. You have the option to adjust your angle of shot from 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. This will help blast enemies multiple times during one sweep across the screen, or recover an embarrassing shot that you fired off that is eternally flying through 8-bit limbo. There are different variations of the game you can play. One variation is that you can actually control the shot you fired and steer it into the enemy. Another variation is a torpedo game where you are now submarines that shoot enemy subs in the water. The shot fire moves straight up opposed to the default angle of the default game. Another variation of that is that you can steer your shot towards the enemy subs. You also have the option of a shooting gallery type game where you can shoot down crazy targets for points. This game is just fantastic. It's highly recommended. Number 6. Gorf. Not to be mistaken by Worf from Star Trek The Next Generation. Gorf is a space shoot-'em-upper game where you are a spaceship and your objective is to KO enemy spacecrafts that try to blow your gonads off with a laser beam. You start out with 5 ships. You can only shoot 1 at a time. If your first shot is still on the screen when you fire the second shot, the first one disappears. Not only is this game in space with weird alien ships, but the laws of physics mean not a shit when our weapons fire seem to take a hike while we're trying to defend our very own existence and possibly millions of people on a planet or a moon! Calm down. I gotta calm down. You get an extra ship every 10,000 points earned. Good luck. This is a fun game, but it's harder than pedaling a bicycle with no legs. Each level gets harder and harder until you finally bite the big one. You are destined to fail. It was foreseen. It's in the holy text. It's in the... Number 7. Assault. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of my Atari 2600, or so it seems. Atari seems to love the space genre. Anyways, Assault is a fantastic game designed for quick responses and accuracy. You have a mothership, which I want to call it a mother something, just not a mothership, that launches smaller spacecraft that try to zap you into oblivion. Each round of attacks get more difficult with the enemy crafts firing different kinds of weapons at you. Some look like regular weapons fire, some look like they're barfing on you, while some will drop these little roller balls that'll roll on the bottom of the screen to do a side attack. There's a lot going on in this game. That's why being fast and accurate is necessary. One of the biggest caveats in this game is the fact that you cannot fire too rapidly. If you do, your laser beams will overheat and you'll explode. BAM! Assholes and elbows floating through space. If you're good at precision and speed, this game is for you. Otherwise, you might assault your game cartridge for being difficult. Practice makes perfect, so they say. Number 8. Space Invaders. Space, space, space. Again with space. It's cool with me. I like space games. You're a ship trying to defend something from alien ships. I think that something might be Earth. I don't know. It's a cliche arcade space game. Still, this is fun. The objective is to wipe out the alien ships before they reach the bottom. If they do, they pin you down and they suck out your brain. Not true, but they will simply destroy you and you lose your life. The premise of the game is to score as many points as possible before you belly up. Can you actually belly up in space? Is that possible? Anyway, there is no end to the Space Invaders. Only the number of lives and patience is limited. Each time you start a new round, they start closer to you, making it harder to cope. They really want you dead, don't they? You can hide behind these little shield, dirt, mountain, asteroid things floating there. I don't really know what they are, but they can be chipped away each time they're hit. And to think, earlier we was a ship blasting asteroids, and in this game, they are our friend. That rocks. Did you see what I did there? Number 9. Super Cobra. This side-scrolling Charlie Foxtrot is a fun little game where you have to shoot enemies that are perched on the side of hills and upon the ground while flying through narrow passageways, through the cities, over mountaintops, and through tunnels. If you hit a side of an obstacle, you'll be turned into human tartar. On the other hand, well, there is no actual other hand, that pretty much sums it up. You can shoot forward and drop bombs on the enemies below. Precise timing is needed if you actually want to rid the enemies of the land. You'll start off with 4 helicopters total. When you crash your chopper into something, you'll respawn wherever the other one was destroyed. If you have a candy bar in the old chopper, now's the time to grab it. We're not stopping when we get back in the air. Oh yeah, again, I almost forgot. You have a limited amount of fuel. This is indicated by the blue bar at the bottom of the screen, so you'll have to run into a fuel tank to replenish your fuel supply. Otherwise, you'll have Carl and Sling Blade telling you, "There ain't no gas in it." And finally, number 10, Yard's Revenge. Alright, since we haven't covered any space-oriented games in this video, I figured we would dedicate the last video to just that. Sarcasm. Gotta love it. You're a ship that needs to break through an energy barrier to expose a base that is trying to off you. You have to take your time and be patient as you chisel away at the energy shield until you finally break through it. Once you break through, you need to use a power-up that appears on the left side of the screen to fire at the base. The base will not make it easy for you, however, so you have to be patient and you have to be quick. The base will fire weapons at you. One is a missile that fires a consistent stream, while the other is a swirling wind that whooshes through the screen. The higher your score, the more powerful the swirling fart blast of doom is. In the center is a region called the Neutral Zone. It's not full of Romulans and Klingons like on Star Trek. I was kinda disappointed about that. The zone will protect you from missiles, but not the swirls. However, you can't fire through the neutral zone either, so you have to pass the zone, fly towards the shield of the base to make your attack. That's like painting a target on your ass and mooning a police officer. If you're hit by a missile, a swirl, or manage to do something idiotic like shooting yourself with your own power-up, you'll be in the obituaries. I hope you all enjoyed that video for the top 10 shoot-'em-up games for the Atari 2600, and follow me for more content. Which is your favorite shoot-'em-up game? Please comment below.